Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another brand new live episode of Strong Style here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am the Outlaw, John Rooker. We got so much to get into here with my co-host down there in Orlando holding it down. Aaron Turner, how are you, man?
I'm great. Are you in the loop on Dua Lipa? Do you know who Dua Lipa is?
Of course I know what Dua Lipa is. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. I was checking out like my Spotify like top 5 like artists of the year.
Sure.
Dua Lipa was like my number 3. I was like, wow, I didn't realize I listened to so much Dua Lipa, but okay.
Hey.
Billie Eilish was also on the list. I love Billie.
Okay.
Michael Jackson was my number 1, so there's that.
Okay.
Take that for what you will. And the Rolling Stones and Breaking Benjamin, which is like my favorite band. So
I don't know who
I have an eclectic mix. You don't know who Breaking Benjamin is?
No, I have no idea. I've heard all about the Benjamins, but I've never heard of Breaking Benjamin.
They're like a rock, like a new age kind of rock band.
Okay.
So yeah, they're great. They've been around for a while. They broke up for a little bit because their lead singer got cancer.
Oh shit!
And then he overcame that. And now they're back together.
Like they broke up because they had cancer. I feel like.
Well, I mean, I should
stay
say
together
for they stayed together, but they weren't touring or anything because he had cancer. But
okay, fair enough.
Great band if you like that kind of rock music sound, like in that same vein as like Seether and Theory of a Dead Man, stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway.
Right. Well, there you go.
Because like I don't know who the fuck any of those people are.
Well, I don't listen to. I don't jump on Spotify that often, so I don't.
Crosby and Stills. Where's that at?
No, I mean I know Dua Lipa. She's had a few really good songs. I had a FIFA 21. She had a really great song on FIFA 21. You know, they do a lot of great music. That's how I get in contact with artists who are big nowadays is on the FIFA game because they're always bringing in the cutting edge artists, dropping their songs and whatever. And so it kind of opens the door to me. I was like, oh, I like this song. Who the hell is this? And I look it up. I go, who the hell is that? And then I get to know their music a little bit more. And Dua Lipa, sure, she's got that Elton John track that she dropped. She does a number of things. Plus, she's incredibly attractive. She was just on Vanity Fair, I think, or something like that with a big interview with her. So, yeah, shout out to her. And Camila Cabello as well. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, what?
Yeah, she's smoking.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. And Camila Cabello, who is the lead in Cinderella of my friend Kay Cannon's film. Also a good artist out there hanging out doing some great work for sure. But we're here to talk about other great artists, and that's artists in the world of professional wrestling. We're going to jump into a lot of things today. Day one, the results, the ramifications, the consequences, the controversy. We're going to jump into NXT New Year's Evil, essentially the end of NXT 1.0 or whatever you want to call it. The black and gold here is the 2.0. Pretty much takes the reins of NXT, and we're going to get into AEW Dynamite with some fantastic matches between Bryan Danielson and Adam Hangman Page, and also a couple of title changes as well. So much to get into here between Aaron Turner and I, and we're going to read your Streamlabs and Super Chat. So keep your support coming throughout the show. The Streamlabs address is right there on the screen. It's in the description of this video, and I'm about to pin it in the chat. But let's have some fun here on this Saturday, for God's sakes. Aaron Turner, where shall we go?
We're going to start with chaos, apparently, and that is the breaking news from yesterday that kind of just came out of nowhere that Mickie James will be participating in the Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble this year. Which is normally would not be a shocking thing. Like, hey, she's a legend. Why is that shocking?
Right.
Well, they fired her ass, and then they gave her a bag of her clothes in a garbage bag and mailed it to her, which was a big controversy.
Oh, yes, it was.
Big deal. And now Mickie James, who is currently the Impact Knockouts champion, which was announced on air. Who would have thought that would have happened by Pat McAfee? So that was very surprising, along with Summer Rae is coming back, and Kelly and Michelle McCool, and some the Bella Twins and some others are coming back to fill out the Royal Rumble entrant pool. It was also announced today that Sasha Banks is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow.
With that foot injury. If you didn't see the video from the live event where she and Charlotte, accidents happen, shit happens.
Yeah.
It's not a very serious injury, thank goodness. But it looks like she will miss the Royal Rumble. So we got that going on. But what do you think about Mickie James here? A lot of divided opinion. A lot of people think it's fun, and I've seen a lot of people actually liken it to Doctor Strange and multiverse of WWE madness going on. What do you think here?
Well, I mean, look, she wasn't under contract, right? From what I understand, like a full-time contract with Impact. So she is their champion, and going on a show like this, as long as she doesn't have to relinquish the belt or be like unable to kind of make allusions to it, then it's fine, I think. And she, she deserves it. And maybe this is WWE's way of like mending the bridges and, hey, dropping all this talent, taking the PR hits that they're taking here across all social media. And please don't tell me and don't waste my time thinking that they don't monitor that stuff. They absolutely monitor that stuff. So all the PR hits they're taking, it kind of started a little bit with the Mickie James situation and kind of blossomed from there with all the releases and all the booking and all the anger that people felt about the Becky Lynch SummerSlam situation. All of it. So maybe this is kind of their way of repairing at least one bridge with Mickie James. They fired the guy who had sent this. Of course, probably he didn't do it on his own. Listen, let me clarify something for you. No one does shit on their own in the WWE. No one. Okay. Do they take initiative? Yes, but it's to impress their bosses. Taking the initiative to put Mickie James shit in a garbage bag and sending it to her, that is not something someone would do without some semblance of permission or some knowledge from somebody higher above them. It's such a disrespectful thing to do. Why would you risk your job by doing something petty like that? I don't think someone would do that in WWE. I think it's run like a really tight ship, and they would not let that happen. So they threw the guy on his sword. He fell on his sword, and he's gone, right? So this is their way of kind of doing some PR work and putting it forward. So great. She's coming back. She's a great competitor. People loved her in the WWE. She's had numerous stints in the WWE. And if I was her, I would put it in my one-day contract that I can walk out with the Impact title. And if Impact allows that and is cool with that, that's a great way of like creating a bridge to the WWE, having them promote your brand, your thing, then why not? So to me, in the long run, as long as Mickie James is happy and they don't do her dirty, then why not? What's the problem?
I think that money talks and bullshit walks, and nobody's going to. I say this a lot, but like nobody's going to make money for you. So like a lot of bridges can be mended with money, and I'm not saying, and I'm not going. I know like it's getting kind of. Some people have conflicting thoughts about this, even in our own chat right now. I don't give a rat's ass. Like I don't care if Mickie James like got a guy fired because of that. If that's the practice, the guy should have been fired anyway. That's horrible.
Yes, agreed.
The fact that she brought it to light is one thing. Like, you guys have to understand, like, she is a legend. I did this bit of research. So I looked up the women's roster for the WWE currently as it stands. And I looked at the women that would be eligible for the Royal Rumble that weren't champions, except for Charlotte, who announced that she's going to be in the Rumble, which is stupid. There are 7 eligible SmackDown women. We can take that down to 6 now since Sasha's not going to be there. 10 for Monday Night Raw. So that's 16 active women to fill out the Royal Rumble, which is 30. Yeah. So you need 14 more people. Yeah. They fired everybody. Yeah. they need people, dude. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you got 17 right there. And then from NXT, I counted 16. I didn't do NXT UK because I don't think they're going to bring people over. Right. But I expect it to be filled out with like Raquel and probably Dakota Kai from NXT and maybe a couple others. But like, guys, they need people.
Yeah.
they need people here. It's their own fault for firing everybody, of course. And yes, this is a bit of a make good, of course.
Yeah.
The whole forbidden door talk is just... Impact is such a non-factor. I don't even know how it can be like a forbidden door thing, because Impact seriously gets less ratings than GCW. Like
right.
It has less of a footprint than that, which is like an independent promotion. So it's like, I don't know if Impact's really moving the needle here. Plus, Mickie James has a title match tonight against Deonna Purrazzo, which she could very well lose that Impact Women's Championship tonight and not be the Impact Women's Champion. So it is what it is. I think it was just a nice PR like blip. Oh, this will be nice. Well, WWE and Impact are working together. Yeah, WWE and ECW worked together in the 90s. It's like not that surprising.
Right.
So it is a cool thing. I like Mickie, of course. I think her comments were some of the things she said were a bit much when she first came out initially against WWE. I think that Maria Kanellis just shut up, Maria Kanellis. Nobody cares about what you have to say.
Right.
And a couple other people was just like, man, this really isn't This really isn't a good thing. So, but I am glad that she's back. I don't want to make it sound like that. I mean, it is money. It's WWE money, so it's a quick one night payday. It's a per diem payday. So why not?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. And, and the thing is, she may lose the belt. This may be kind of a preview to her losing the belt tonight, which is why she accepted this situation and can walk in there that way. I mean, if they're bringing Deonna, that's a whole nother conversation, right? Because that's that's a wrestler in her prime. And if she wins the belt tonight or, gets it back, her walking into Rumble, that would be the opening of the forbidden door. This is in essence, Mickie James and like they said, or like I found out, she's not with them full time. So she just went to them and said, hey, I'm with you. I'm doing my thing, but can I do this as well? And they're probably like, hell yeah, just promote our stuff. And in fact, Impact mentioned it on their show this week. So, it works out for them 100% to have Mickie go and be a part of this thing for sure. And yeah, I don't know if it's a forbidden door thing. I agree with you. It's like Impact's so below the WWE in terms of attention and worldwide acclaim that this is good for them. So why not do it? So yeah, good stuff. And we'll see how long she lasts. I hope they don't do her dirty, that she's in there for 1 minute or whatever. I hope they give her a little bit of an extended run so the fans can say goodbye to her. I think that's really important as well. When you're unceremoniously let go from a place and the fans don't get to, say thank you or give you some time or give you some love, then it's a bad situation. So this would be a nice way for them to bring her back and have the fans give her a good salute and have some fun times throwing some people over the top. But you're right. When you look at the numbers, there's only so many ladies. And with Alexa Bliss coming back tomorrow night, I imagine she's going to be a part of it in some way.
Yeah, I counted her among those.
So. All right. So yeah, so we shall see for sure. All right.
Do you think they would have been better served to not announce it and it just like she just showed up?
No, that'd
have been really something.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It would have been a hell of a surprise. The fans would have gone crazy for sure. She would have stood at the top of the platform or the walkway rather, just kind of soaked it in. Sure. But this way, it's a PR move. And this is why they did it, 100%. To get the attention, get positivity around it and what have you. And listen, it's not a surprise that after there was so much controversy after day one and angry texts and social media posts and all this over Lesnar winning, that they all of a sudden go and do some PR move here to kind of low-key build a bridge back to Mickie James and look like they're doing a good thing here. So no surprise. Usually that's how the WWE works. They fuck up here, then they immediately scramble and try to do some kind of PR move a day or two later to kind of save their brand a little bit or the face on their brand a little bit. So yeah, no surprise.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. But yeah, I think it would have been fun if Impact was even like, tonight's match between Deonna and Mickie, whoever wins gets a spot in the Royal Rumble on something like that. Would have been
boom.
Cool. Yeah, been neat. So that would have been a nice little throw in. But like these other people they've added, like Summer Rae, I'm like, what the fuck? Why?
Summer Rae, yeah.
And Michelle McCool. It's like these people are not like whatever, I guess. But here we are. So
I want to take a look at this. So they've announced all the participants, or at least
not everybody. There was just a graphic yesterday that was just like Michelle McCool, Kelly, the Bella Twins, and Lita, and I was like, okay, but
all right, so yeah, interesting.
Push your talent, man. Like push your younger talent. Like put some NXT people in there. Put give Raquel a big stage. Like
Raquel would be great. I hope they do find a way.
Let her face off with Rhea. Like that would be cool.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
So do that, and then do some other cool stuff. Like don't. Yeah. They keep doing this. Like they bring back Lita, they bring back Michelle McCool, and I'm just like, stop doing that. Like we love them, but stop doing that.
Yeah, but then on the other side, I mean, we've seen the men do it for years, bringing back, Diesel, bringing back Kevin, all that kind of stuff. So maybe this is a way, and it's a way of bringing attention. And you put butts in seats with these legacy wrestlers. And so hopefully they'll find the right mix of the up and coming ones and the ones in their prime and the ones who are coming back for a fun little night to show you what they can still do in the ring. I'm sure Lita always shows up and shows out. I've never been disappointed by her coming back in later years. So I'm cool. The Bella Twins, I'm a little nervous about. No lie.
Summer Rae is no Diesel.
Oh, right. Fair enough. 1,000%. You're not wrong there, my man. But Michelle McCool can still do it. She can still go. So nice to see her come out. In fact, she should come out to the Undertaker's entrance. That would be awesome. All right. That's me. Anything else more on this top of the show news item here?
No, I don't think so. I think it was definitely noteworthy. Something that happened last night. I was like, wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah. Do you think even Maria will come back? I like this. Josh Young's there. Eva Marie in the Rumble for the win. LOL.
Fuck off. No.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's get to a couple of these super chats before we move on to our next item here, Aaron. Right here, Luis Enrique de la Peña says, do you think that they made Brock Lesnar champion again because they didn't like Big E's push? What a coincidence. Reigns was cleared the week after day one.
Let's stick a pin in that real quick.
We're going to stick a pin in that. We're going to get back to that a little bit later on the show, Luis, but thank you very much for sending in your donation. He sent in another one. He said, do you think WWE will bring more NXT wrestlers up to fill in more spaces at the Rumble?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to. Like we just talked about Raquel. I think it'd be fun to put Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter in there because they're very athletic. I think that would be cool. Indy Hartwell maybe and Persia Parada would be good. On the men's side, I don't think so because we'll talk about it, but it's like NXT 2.0 is so they want to do something so different. They're trying so hard to separate that from the main roster that I don't think they want to do that just yet.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's see. And we got two Streamlabs came through here from John Alexander. He says, don't know how I feel about the Jade Cargill win, but I loved that Storm outfit. We'll put a pin in that. We're definitely going to talk about that, John, just a little bit. And he says, I agree with Rocha. WWE always is a scapegoat. Eric Bischoff, Paul Heyman, Vince, and Bruce always have someone under them to take the fall for their own foolishness. Shawn Michaels better watch out when NXT 2.0 fails. Yeah.
I mean, that's the big question that I have. We'll talk about the releases in a minute, but it's like, do they have the balls to fire Shawn Michaels? Do you imagine?
I mean, I want to see that. I want to read that tell-all book. I want that book, for God's sakes. That man knows where all the skeletons are. All right, let's move on to our second news item here. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, the Streamlabs Super Chats are open. Please send in your support for the show. Any questions you want to ask us, we will put it up on the screen, give you some love, say your name, and answer it for sure, or put a pin on it and answer it down the road, but answer it nonetheless on the show. So, all right, Aaron, where are we off to next?
Well, we're going to talk about WWE Day One, which was last Saturday. Saturday, yeah, it was last Saturday night, New Year's Day, like when we last recorded. But so we have a new WWE champion. It is Brock Lesnar. We'll talk about that here in just a second, but I'll just give you the results and we'll get to the end. Of course, Roman Reigns was announced that he was diagnosed with COVID and he would miss the show. So Brock Lesnar was added to the Fatal 4-Way WWE Championship match. After that, we had RK Bro defeat the Street Profits to retain the Raw Tag Team Championships. Becky Lynch defeated Liv Morgan to retain the Women's Championship. No surprise there.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre defeated Riddick Moss. The Usos defeated the New Day to retain the SmackDown Tag Titles in a fucking banger. And then Brock Lesnar defeated Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley to win the WWE Championship for, I think, the 6th time. And I got to tell you, man, like, I think this match was like 8 to 10 minutes.
I was surprised.
Balls to the wall.
Yeah.
What a match, dude. Wow. I really liked it.
This week, Aaron, I was on Twitter and people were posting the 2 rounds between Marvin Hagler and Thomas Hearns. For those of you old enough to remember, 2 of the greatest rounds of boxing ever. And although it didn't go 15 rounds, it's one of the most memorable boxing matches that you're ever going to see. If you've never seen it, do yourself a favor after the show's over. Take about 10 minutes of your life, bring it up on YouTube, and you're going to watch 2 guys throwing haymakers for a combined total of 9 minutes before one finally gets knocked out. And that's what this match felt like, Aaron. There was speed upon speed, move upon move, huge spot upon huge spot. And maybe they did this because, they knew they had to get Lesnar to get the belt and they wanted to just go balls to the wall on this and get the hell on out, maybe even reduce the exposure to COVID that any of them might have in a wrestling match. So incredibly interesting decision, especially with that many people in the ring. But in the end, whether you're satisfied or not, it was a legitimate victory for Lesnar.
Yeah, I was sad about Big E. Like, I think I showed you that picture that was circulating of him after the match sitting on the outside with like that sad look on his face. I love Big E, man. I think he's a great personality. I think he could have been a greater WWE champion. I think he's great for the company. I think everything about Big E is good and positive, and we need more of that.
Yeah.
But the fact that Brock Lesnar is big box office, okay? Like, I don't know if I have to I don't know why I have to keep saying this, but like Brock Lesnar, big box office, like big box office attraction. There's very few of those in wrestling anymore. You have Brock, you got Roman, and then on the women's side, you got like Becky and Charlotte, and then AEW, you've got of course Punk and Danielson and people like that that are big box office. So when you have an opportunity to put somebody like Brock Lesnar in a position like that, you kind of let's surprise them. And let's see if they saw this coming, which of course I don't think a lot of people did. I definitely did. I was like, well, Brock got speared.
Yeah.
So I thought he was out of the match. But what happens is now you get this dynamic of, well, first of all, you get the dynamic that I'm super excited about. Big meaty men slapping meat. And that is at the Royal Rumble, we're finally getting Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Give it. I want that shit. I want that. But like, it looks like maybe they're going to do Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania in a title unification bout.
Yeah.
Looks like we might get some of that. So give me that as well. That could be fun. The promo last night, Brock Lesnar said, acknowledge me. So that's pretty fun. But yeah, anytime Brock Lesnar has the championship, anytime Brock Lesnar is featured, it's a big deal because people want to see Brock Lesnar. Go back and watch it, dude. Go back and watch the entrances. And when Brock Lesnar comes out, people are like, oh, like it's like, this is going to be good. And usually it is. So I have no problems with it. I'm sorry Big E had to be the casualty.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes. That's the wrestling business.
I'm going to say something's going to piss Aaron off, but Lesnar is this generation's Goldberg. Yeah, I mean, when he walks out, the place goes crazy. I'm not talking about wrestling skill. I'm talking about how the reaction of the audience when they hear that music, you can't explain it, but the live audience loses their shit. And the same thing with Lesnar. Every time he ends up coming back after a little bit of hiatus, when he comes back, the audiences always lose their shit. He has been doing, as we talked about on last week's show, when we talked about the best of 2021, he has done incredible character work, next level character work since he came back. A veteran who still knows how to push those buttons, how to check those boxes and get the fans behind him and into his stuff. Now, I don't know what the decision was around Big E. I don't know why they moved on so quickly from this push, because they let Lashley have the belt for quite some time before they took it off him. So I find this to be a curious situation, because the New Day also ended up losing that night as well. So you wonder to yourself, like, what is this all about? Are they going to promote a storyline where these guys are licking their wounds, come back and become even more unified, more strong, more powerful going forward? Do they become heels? Like, what is the situation that they're going to play into here? Because I was severely disappointed that Big E didn't get a longer run. Now with Lashley, you know, they focused on Lashley. They focused on, you know, he's definitely burning a hole through Lesnar by the end of the show. So clearly that's the setup for Rumble. You're right about that. But the fan reaction, dude, has been insane. And you talk about that picture, it's right there. Him sitting there, totally dejected. Is that authentic? Is that real? Is that a Ben Affleck meme, sad meme? Is that what we're looking at? I don't know, you know, because it's when you're showing your real emotion, he did the job. He did the company's work. A piece of me that's more cynical goes, this is what happens when you're a black wrestler in the WWE. They don't give a fuck about necessarily history or tradition or breaking the walls down or whatever, unless it serves their purpose to get attention for their company. After that initial spike of attention and PR love and all of that, they go right back to taking belts off black champions to give it to their white studs. And so this is something that you have to kind of factor in when you're a part of this company. It happened to Kofi. Brock beat him too. It's going to happen to Xavier Woods at some point down the road. This is the game. And so you start to wonder to yourself, well, yeah, why are they doing this? And yes, they're setting him up against another black guy in Bobby Lashley, but eventually what's this going to lead to? It's him against, another person of color, definitely in Roman Reigns. But in the end, they took it off to give it to Lesnar. And sometimes it's just about brutal business dollars. I think Aaron Turner's 100% right here. They saw the money that they can make off Lesnar. Maybe Big E was great for the initial spike and everybody loved it on social media, but maybe there wasn't as much traction with the merchandise sales, with the attention to his matches, with the social media conversations. Maybe it just wasn't there. The WWE right now is floundering, so they're going to go wherever their ratings are and their money are. They give a fuck about other people's opinions, you know? So I think that's what happened here.
Yeah, probably. And I'll let that Goldberg comment slide, but Something I definitely do agree with that I think is the internet consensus is that Big E should not have taken the pin. You had other people that could have done that. Kevin Owens would not have been hurt by a pin. Neither would have Seth Rollins. I don't know why you choose Big E.
Yeah, why give him the loss? A straight clean pin. Yeah, why?
Yeah, I don't like that. That's part of it I really didn't like. But other than that, Bobby Lashley versus Brock again is a match I've wanted to see for like 15 years. Like for whatever reason, they've been ships in the night passing each other. Like Bobby went to Impact and they were on different shows and different brands, so they kind of just missed each other. But like that's a match I'm really excited to see. And I think that's a match that Bobby Lashley in particular has wanted for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. And to see MVP and Paul Heyman going back and forth. That's great. Yeah. So I'm excited for that reason, but not at the expense of Big E. I think hopefully what's going to happen with Big E is I think that WrestleMania, he's going to get a big match. I think that he may get Walter. I think that could be awesome. You want to talk about a banger? Him and Walter could be really great. So hopefully that's where they go with that.
But if they do that, Aaron, he's got to win.
And he won't.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Won't.
I mean,
he didn't win last WrestleMania either, and it was in his hometown. So
yeah, true. I mean, you're making such a big deal about him winning the belt. WWE dialed into that, leaned into that, did all these videos, all these promos for him, all these interviews, lined up everything, and then in the end, they take it off of him. So to me, I'm like, you got to reward him with something. You're sitting there giving Mickie James a shot at a Royal Rumble. You don't put Big E in WrestleMania to lose. Do you think you'll have a Royal Rumble match?
I think you'll be in the Royal Rumble, but I don't think I don't think you'll win.
Can he force his way into a triple threat match? Lesnar, Reigns, and Big E. They rarely do that in the big events.
No, I think they shut that down because Big E got pinned. Had Big E not have gotten pinned, they may have opened that door. Maybe that's why they had him take the pin. So they closed that door.
Yeah,
so
maybe
that sucks. But it is what it is. So we just need Xavier Woods to beat Brock Lesnar to overcome the New Day's strike. I think that'd be fucking cool. I'd like that. Like not right now, but like maybe in a year or so. Well, like maybe in a year or so, though, like Xavier Woods beats Brock Lesnar for the WWE title. That'd be fucking cool.
Yeah, I guess. And then 2 months later, he'll drop it to somebody else. He'll drop it to Bron Breakker. He'll drop it to Bron Breakker.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
All right, let's get into some of these super chats here. Chris Miner says, do you think WWE will end the brand split soon? I kind of hope Roman versus Brock happens to unify the titles. Also, not enough tags or women for 2 titles. We need 1 main, 1 tag, 1 women's, and 2 mid cards. Aaron,
100% agree. I don't even think we need 2 mid cards. I think we need 1.
Wow.
I appreciate I appreciate the lineage of the United States Championship, but I don't think we need it.
No one cares.
No one gives a shit. I love Damian Priest, but who gives a shit?
Yeah.
So that could be like some WrestleMania matches, like Nakamura versus Damian Priest to unify those belts, or Usos versus New Day to do the. I know people are sick of that crap.
Yeah.
But or RK Bro versus the Usos to unify those belts. We definitely need 1 tag belt.
Yeah.
Take the women's tag titles and throw them in the fucking garbage. They're useless. Yeah, I think we could deal with 1 women's championship. Like I just said, we have 17 or 18 women on the roster total on the main roster. So it's like we can deal with 1 belt.
Right.
You know, so I'm all for that. Ending the brand split, I don't know. Because well, right now the roster's so downsized, maybe it'll work. But before the roster was so bloated, it didn't work because nobody was getting time. Maybe this is the way to do it now. I don't know.
I think the big mistake if you end the brand split, it's the reason they have that thing in place is so that in a subconscious level, the impression is that it's not equal. Raw is not equal to SmackDown, is not equal to NXT. You know, and they do that on purpose. So you can connect in your mind a certain expectation of each of the brands. And so you go in knowing what you're going to get or what you assume you're going to get, right? With SmackDown, that's the highly produced Fox-sponsored show. That's supposed to be your granddaddy of shows there. Then Raw right behind that NXT. If they remove the brand split, then the assumption becomes that each one of the shows needs to be as equal as the other shows because there is no brand split. And there's no way the WWE and Fox are going to put the money into Raw and NXT that they're putting into SmackDown. Just not going to happen. Plus, the people on SmackDown now, if you remove the brand split, are seen as equal to Raw people, equal to NXT people. There is no delineation, and I think that's where you have some trouble. And AEW is kind of navigating that themselves with After Dark and Dynamite and other things like this. There's no real delineation between the shows. There's no brand split. It's just different shows supposedly showcasing all the WWE talent. This is the way it was in the 80s, right? 80s and 90s. No brand split. Whatever show it was supposed to be the best show to watch on that night, and so I think that's where they might run into some troubles getting rid of the brand split, because I don't think they really commit to all the shows to be at the same level.
I mean,
but one belt, yes, I want one belt. I'm tired of two belts.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are tired of that crap. You can't have two world champions. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
In that sense, yeah. Like in Monday Night Raw needs to go to 2 hours. There's a lot of shit that needs to be done around here. Okay, like Monday Night Raw is too long. I don't know how anybody watches it. Like I tried to watch it the other day when I was making dinner, and I was like, I can't do this. Like I don't know how people sit through this crap.
Yeah,
it's just mind numbing. So, I think you could do it. There's just a way that you have to do it specifically that I don't think WWE wants to do. I don't think they want to get rid of all those belts. I think they.
Yeah, they like the notoriety, and plus that's the way to attract people to say, hey, we made them a champion. We made them a champion. It's like, yeah, but a U.S. champion.
Yeah.
Luis Enrique de la Pena is back again. He said, was Seth Rollins' appearance on SD a hint at a trade between him and Lesnar until WrestleMania?
Well, I think they explained it last night is that, well, yes, probably, to answer your question. And then number two, they kind of explained it away as Seth was the number one contender for Roman's Universal title.
Yeah.
Then the draft happened and he got drafted to Raw. So they kind of explained that away. But Roman does need an opponent for Royal Rumble. So you could get Seth, and Seth versus Roman could be pretty cool. I'd be into
Seems
that.
like that's what they're setting up.
I'm into that.
To be honest with you, right? That's a lot of fun here. Let's get to maps. Sorry about this. Sorry. All right, anyway. Oh, fuck you. All right. Justin Toner says, hey, my body sometimes. Hey, John and Aaron, what a week. I thought NXT New Year's Evil was better than day one. Wow. Better matches. I thought, well, I said the Liv Morgan match. I like Brock, but wasn't happy Big E lost the title. Hangman versus Danielson 2 ruled on Dynamite. 1,000% agree with you there, Justin. I get why Jade won the TBS title, but she's still green. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that, Justin. So let's put a pin on your AEW comments. Yeah. But do you agree that, and we'll get into New Year's Evil as well. And so we'll come back to Justin's comment there on there. He also says on the NXT releases, the only one that shocked me was William Regal being let go. Feels like everything Triple H related outside of HBK is being purged from NXT. Regal and Joe were class acts on Twitter about being like, oh, love them both. What do you think? So should we talk about that next, or what do we have next?
Yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about that. We'll just jump ahead a little bit to the releases. Yeah, if you guys weren't aware, NXT/WWE released a lot of people again.
Yeah.
William Regal, of course, being at the top of the list. Scott Armstrong, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, backstage producer, Gabe Sapolsky. There were others in terms of agents and stuff like that, but those are the biggest names. And then wrestler-wise, we had Timothy Thatcher, Danny Burch, former tag team champions, and then Hideki Suzuki, who's that quiet guy in Diamond Mine that never did anything. He got released. No offense, like you never want anybody to lose their job, but it's kind of like, I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the big news to me is that William Regal was let go as well, and that's because William Regal had been the NXT like on-air GM since like 2014. That's a long time to be an on-screen GM. He's been with the company, of course, since I think he was there before the invasion. I'm really not sure how long he's been there, honestly. Long time, 20 years at least. So to see him go, it's a real shame because Regal was a guy that would scout talent. Regal was a trainer at the PC. He's very involved in the day-to-day operations of NXT. The GM thing was like just an on-air role, but he really was involved with a lot of NXT stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody loved him, of course, like one of those guys that everybody likes. And William Regal even said in a tweet after that, like, don't expect me to go on some podcast or something and talk bad about the WWE because I have nothing bad to say. They've treated me like gold. They helped me. They saved my life at one point. If you know anything about William Regal's backstory, there was a minute there where he was heavily into controlled substances to the point where They were really thinking about WWE was really thinking about cutting him loose, but they got him into rehab and took care of that for him. So good for him in that respect. But yeah, Regal is a well respected member of that NXT community. It's just another death nail. In NXT's coffin. What'd you think about that?
Well, I mean, it seemed to make sense. I mean, if you're going to move into 2.0, you don't want any remnants of 1.0, right? You don't want any remnants of the black and gold. Like, I get it logically, business-wise, why they did what they did. Getting rid of Samoa Joe. By the way, blew my mind. He's only 42. Over all the drama with Samoa Joe, he's only 42 years old. I thought he was closer to 50. Incredible. And unfortunately, his body breaking down, but he issued a very nice tweet. Regal, as well, as you mentioned, not saying he's not going to talk, nor should he. When you've been at a company that long, hopefully you've saved your money, you've invested, you've got yourself set up for a good existence, and they took care of you and they gave you a job for all those years. But it's the wrestling business, and at any time your head is on the chopping block if it makes sense for them business wise. So the fact that he was able to survive many purges for numerous years, you got to give William Regal a lot of credit, and certainly what a way to transform himself. Because in my mind, I've always just only seen him as the WCW guy, because that's where I first got to know him. And when he came over to WWE, I still, even now, I feel like he was a WCW guy in the WWE for this long. But the truth is, longer in the WWE than the WCW. So clearly a WWE guy. And so it's how much he has shaped the great years of NXT along with Triple H. He was so essential to all of that happened, that all the great golden matches that we got during the height of NXT 1.0, for lack of a better term, all of that, plus the stuff he did behind the scenes when he was an actual wrestler on the roster, the way he talked to the younger wrestlers, the way he guided people, the reputation he had as a no bullshit artist, all of that just worked so well for William Regal. So sad to see him go, sad to see Samoa Joe go. But I think the Samoa Joe release is probably permanent for quite some time. I don't imagine they'll bring him back now in any way, shape, or form, because clearly they couldn't find anything else to give him to do, bro. And so they figured, well, let's let him go and see where he goes next.
Yeah, it's a kick in the nuts that Samoa Joe got released again, second time in a year. But let's not play, guys. Like, the guy was injured a lot.
Yes,
and I know that's no reason to fire somebody. Well, I guess I don't know, but like, if you can't perform your job, you probably shouldn't be working. But anyway, they could have found something for Samoa Joe to do. Let's not lie. But like, he was gone for a long time with injuries, concussions, whatever it was. Then he came back, got cleared, wrestled Karrion Kross, got hurt again. So it's like, you can't put stock in somebody like that. No offense to Joe, he's great. Everybody loves Joe. But you can't put stock in that if you can't rely on somebody to be there. Plus, again, like you said, NXT remnant, like Joe's from the old guard, if you will. So there was no spot for him. What are they gonna do? Wait for him to get healthy? He comes back, he wrestles Seth and gets hurt again. Like, damn, man, like, that's tough. Just let him go do his own thing. Vital piece to the backstage area somewhere, whether that be AEW or, dare I say, Impact or Ring of Honor. Like, if Ring of Honor wants to rebuild, there's two pieces to your puzzle right there. You've got William Regal, if he still wants to do it. That's an angle that nobody's really talking about. What if William Regal was just like, I'm done. Maybe he's just done. Like, maybe he just doesn't want to do anymore. Or I don't know. I thought maybe that was an angle that nobody explored. And as for Road Dogg, it's like, if you've seen Road Dogg's Twitter, like, fuck that guy. But like,
was he angry about it? Was he upset?
No, angry about it. Just, this is a very concerning tweets. But anyway,
okay.
He got his Twitter taken away. Like, he had to mind his P's and Q's when he's with WWE. Now that he isn't, he's gone back to anyway. So it's sad for Joe, but I get it. William Regal to me was definitely the most surprising, but like you said, remnants. It's gone.
I mean, I'm looking at Regal's Twitter right now. It's 21 years. I mean, bro, 21 years at a company.
Hell of a run.
That's a heck of a run. And he's 53 years old, which is kind of crazy to think about, So, Aaron, maybe you're right. Maybe it is time. Maybe he goes back to the UK and does something in the UK. Maybe there's just other avenues for him to explore that are open for him. And I'm sure it was a very gracious goodbye. I'm sure he thanked them like crazy. And I'm sure Vince, is there a phone call away, or Triple H is a phone call away
Yes.
if he needs anything. So after the 21 years, this is an amicable breakup. Same thing with Samoa Joe. I mean, I don't know what you do with Road Dogg, but that's Road Dogg. He is what he is. And so that's that. But like, the two real guys that you saw as kind of the guiding light for some of these younger wrestlers, those are the guys you want to focus on here. And they left with class, and so nothing wrong with that. The WWE can deserve certainly a lot of criticism with how they handle something. We just talked about Mickie James about 30 minutes ago. Certainly there are ways to do it correctly and ways not to do it. And they did it correctly here, it seems like. And both sides feel like they handled it correctly overall.
Let's also try to keep in mind, this is something else, that William Regal is a wrestler's wrestler. I mean, I said that a lot, but like William Regal is a wrestler's wrestler. WWE is not training wrestlers anymore. WWE is training entertainers. They don't give a rat's ass if you love Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior back in the day. They don't care. Right. They want people that can be shown on TV that they can make a brand out of. That's not new. That's not a new concept. That's just something WWE has been really trying to lead into. They're going Hollywood, if you will. That's what they do in Hollywood all the time. Everybody, they're not a person, they're a brand. So that's what WWE wants to make. A guy like William Regal, I don't think fits in NXT 2.0.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
So there you go.
Yeah, and he's older, so like you're not going to pitch him to the 20-year-olds. It just doesn't make sense, So this is the way it goes for now. So, I see what you're saying. Oh yeah. Oh whoa. Oh my. All right. Looking at some of these Road Dogg tweets.
Let's just not.
All right. Let's move on. When we moved to, so now we talked about those releases, though. I want to circle back to day one. We didn't finish talking about day one. We had Edge and The Miz. We had Beth Phoenix coming back on Edge's team there against Maurice. We had Becky Lynch against Liv Morgan, and that result probably meaning the end of Liv Morgan's attack on the title for now. As you mentioned, RK Bro beating the Street Profits in a hell of a match. Drew McIntyre beating Madcap Moss, and then the Usos defeating the New Day, as I mentioned earlier. So which one of those matches really stands out to you, or a couple of matches that stand out to you that you want to throw some thoughts on, brother?
Well, Usos the New Day, like, I know people are tired of seeing it because it's like the 100th time we've seen it, but if you want to show me the same movie 100 times that's really good, I'll fucking watch it. Can I tell you how many times I've watched like Coneheads? Like, I love Coneheads, like one of my favorite movies. I watch it all the time. So if you want to give me something that's entertaining and fun, I'll watch it all the damn time. So I never get tired of it. I don't understand people like that. Like, well, they did it on SmackDown again. Yeah, it was entertaining as fuck then too. Yeah, it was great. So stop. Edge and The Miz is interesting because
it was a terrible match.
It was a terrible match. They have no chemistry, but it's something for The Miz to do. It feels like a big rivalry for The Miz. It feels very beneath Edge. It looks like this was all built for this mixed tag, right? Like, the Maurice and Beth Phoenix factor. So I guess that's okay, but Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. Okay, I think we're done here. Like, let's just move on.
It's certainly the best. Great. I will say this: the best she's ever wrestled, Becky, was in this day one match, and it still wasn't that good, And so everyone's going crazy about that move where she flipped over and did her on the power bomb, but like someone's like, why didn't you just walk under her and pick her up a power bomb? I was like, yeah, exactly. Exactly. But she's trying to get people's attention. She's trying to show what she can do, but the chemistry at times is not there. She oversells sometimes worse than The Rock did with those stunners on Stone Cold. I mean, when she didn't get the pin on the power bomb, her fall against the rope. I mean, her and Ruby Soho, I don't know who's worse when they are surprised by not getting the pin. It just kind of looks comical.
Stop doing that. Also, I want to jump in there. Stop doing that. Everybody needs to stop doing that, okay? The Undertaker did it at WrestleMania when Shawn Michaels kicked out of the Tombstone. Totally fine. They're both legends, and no one ever kicks out of the Tombstone.
Right.
When someone kicks out of Ruby Soho's move, don't act like somebody shocked you with a cattle prod. Like, it's not that serious, and it drives me fucking crazy because, like you said, it makes it look stupid. Yep. And I know we're all under this weird, like, town of Derry, Maine, Stephen King fog that wrestling's like kind of real. Like, we're all kind of under that fog. Like, I get that. So don't make it look fucking stupid and fake. Because once you make it look stupid and fake, I'm out. I don't care.
Exactly.
So stop
exactly.
doing that.
Exactly. Zoom Station nailed the match overall here. Becky had to wait for her so many times. You're right.
Oh God, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, her perched on that rope with her ass out for a good 10 seconds before Liv decided to do her move on the powerbomb thing. I thought that was ridiculous. And you just see that and it just doesn't work. And this is not about picking on Liv. This is more a matter of like, hey, Liv, if you're going to do this, you got to step up to the plate. And maybe this is as far as you can go. Maybe. It doesn't mean you can't prove us all wrong, but it feels like this is as far as you can go. And maybe you're still somewhat green. You know, the J-Dog saying the statute of limitations of Liv Morgan are close to up. So there you go. And
in this current run, but I don't think as a talent she's done. Like I don't think so either. I've been very critical of her in the past. Like, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I've been very critical of her, but I do think she is talented. I just don't think she's ready to take the title.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. I don't think, and she's not ready to beat Becky Lynch. And I was watching I was reading some of those comments on Twitter, some of the comments on YouTube. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? They're like, and they still won't give her the belt. She pulls a move like that. And this is why they suck, because they don't listen to the fans that put the belt. Are you insane? Are you fucking insane? You're not going to take the belt off of Becky Lynch and put it on to a pretender like Liv, who doesn't even give you a damn good match to earn her spot for having the belt. Do you want to go through the champions we've had over the last few years? You tell me Liv in any way, shape, or form matches up to Bayley, to Sasha, to Bianca Belair, to Charlotte Flair, to Becky Lynch? She doesn't. So to me, it just is ridiculous to see people getting so upset because they're so caught up in trying to put the belt on Liv. These belts matter. Yes, they're assigned based on what they think, but they matter in terms of credibility and notoriety. And I think nowhere in any way, shape, or form has Liv earned a shot to wearing the belt just yet. Maybe down the road, Aaron, as we said, she's certainly gotten better over the last few years. Maybe there is another level for her to achieve. We saw Becky do that. I mean, Becky was essentially dropping matches to everybody before she went on this insane run, and the character finally clicked, and she went into the stratosphere. So it is possible. Roman Reigns, The Rock, it's all possible. It's about what she does now with what she was given during this run here to make herself even better. Can she listen and get better? We shall see. We shall see.
Just a quick acknowledgement here. Gramash said, Aaron, did you do something different with your hair? No. I styled it last night because my father-in-law and I went to a comedy show, nice. A stand-up show. So I styled my hair and then I just didn't wash it.
Yeah.
So yeah. It was great. Great fun. So yeah.
There you go.
Had to show your Vax card. Yeah. It was a good time.
Xena Hour says the Liv Morgan army is not going to like this. Yeah,
I don't give a fuck about them either.
All 10 of them can be mad at me if
you
they want.
Simps. Is that the word? You bunch of simps.
Sure.
I'm here to tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Here we go.
Let me tell you something. All you people that defend the Bella Twins and Liv Morgan like this, and all these people and all these women, I'm here to tell you, they're not going to fuck you. So just get over it.
Wow.
So stop it.
Strong statement. Strong statement from Aaron Turner. That goes for the GOP as well. All right. Anyway, where are any other matches you want to touch on here from day one?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Let's move on then to NXT 2.0. Is that what's next? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a Streamlab here from Adrian.
Go ahead.
He said, hi, gentlemen. It was nice to see you on Certain Point of View on Monday, John. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I was on Certain Point of View, the Schmodown After Show there, talking about my career. He said, who would you have win at Rumble, Lashley or Lesnar? I would go for Lashley. He's the better wrestler. Lesnar is good, but he uses the suplexes too much for my liking there. So, Aaron, thoughts?
I already don't want to be your friend because you said he uses the suplexes too much. And you said that Lashley's the better wrestler.
Yeah,
neither I can get down with. But Brock Lesnar will win because he has to win. Although this is not the last time I want to see this match. I want to see this match more, please. I'm glad that we're getting it now. I would prefer it at WrestleMania, but I'll take it now.
Yeah.
So I will say Brock. Yes, Brock will have to win this one.
Aaron crushing dreams. I love it. For me, same. I want to see Lesnar win here. I think it'll be a fantastic match between both those guys, but I can't anticipate Lashley winning this thing. But if he does, is that the end of the current Lesnar run? Does he go and disappear for a while again? Could be. It's culmination. Then he's gone for like 6 months. Big E slides right on in and is maybe he's the next one. Big E versus Lashley would be fantastic again to see in the ring. So, I mean, there's possibilities for sure on both those situations. We shall see. But the odds on favor, you think Lesnar wins or do you think Lashley wins?
I would be stunned if Brock Lesnar didn't win. Like that would be something. That would be a real monkey wrench because you have Brock lose.
Yeah.
And then you have him what? Go to WrestleMania to face Roman Reigns and then he wins or lose? Right. Like that's weird.
Yeah, I think Lesnar wins as well. All right, there you go. Thank you so much, Adrian. And let's keep going. And the Streamlabs super chats, send them in, ladies and gentlemen. Going into the last a little bit over half an hour left in the show. Send in your Streamlabs super chats as we go along. We'll read them up on the screen. What do we got, Aaron? Where we go next?
We're going to NXT 2.0, I guess. So NXT 2.0 had New Year's Evil this week. Got the invite, but due to, of course, surging COVID, I said no, thank you. WWE. So I'll just run down the card. We'll talk about some stuff. Carmelo Hayes defeated Roderick Strong to unify the North American Championship and the Cruiserweight title. The Cruiserweight title is no more. Thank God. Matt Riddle and MSK defeated Imperium. So there's that. Mandy Rose defeated Raquel Gonzalez and Cora Jade to retain the NXT Women's Championship. Of course, go Mandy. And then Bron Breakker defeated Tommaso Ciampa to win the NXT Championship. And Bron Breakker literally kicked through the NXT X, the old one, like basically broke it in half, signaling like putting the nail on the head that this is different.
Yeah,
it's different. And Bron Breakker's your champion. So what do you think, man? Let's talk to you first.
Okay. A lot of thoughts here. First, really surprised they gave him the belt this quickly. Really thought there'd be a little bit more of a drag out before he finally got it. But clearly this was an event to make it very, very clear to the fans that the black and gold brand no longer exists. You can keep crying for it. You can keep whining for it. You can keep wishing for the old days. It is not coming back. Shutting the door on Roderick.
You have to rub it in, bro. Okay?
I'm just saying, bro. This is what they said. Roderick Strong losing was another example of that. And certainly Bron Breakker destroying Ciampa in a great match, by the way. That was a damn good match. As good as that 8-minute match was with the 5 people there for the belt in the WWE Day One, this was an excellent match that I did not anticipate liking. I was waiting for Bron Breakker to look green, to look bad, to have the chemistry still a bit off. And I'll be damned if him and Ciampa don't have fantastic chemistry in the ring. And the way Ciampa looked at him afterwards, we may not be 100% done with this rivalry right now. So that's exciting for me to see. But eventually, now that you've got Bron Breakker as champion, who do you have behind Ciampa that you believe can really go for this belt? And I don't see a lot of people. You can crow all you want about NXT 2.0. You can kick out all the X's you want. But if you ain't got the talent on the roster to put butts in seats and get people excited, and this is essentially going to be a Rocky 3 opening where he's just going through people left and right that have no business being in a ring with him to challenge for the title, then you'll have wasted your fucking time building NXT 2.0 because it's going to be boring.
I don't think he's going to be in NXT 2.0 long enough where it's going to matter, to be honest with you. Because
fair.
Let's be frank. Like I don't think I've ever said this before, but like Bron Breakker might be that guy that like you want to talk about a meteoric rise. Like I could see this guy next year, like a year from now, main eventing WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. He's that good, and I don't mean like he's a Steiner and he's all this. He had like someone in the chat said he heard from somebody that he has no business being this good, this young. Yeah. He's like, what, 24?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like, unbelievable. I'm not talking about, like, I mean, just look at him, like, size, strength, likability. Like, I mean, he seems like he's got a decent head on his shoulders. I mean, he's got it all. He's got everything going for him. You know, the lineage, it's all there.
Right.
And to see how athletic he is at such a big size. You talk about athletic big guys like Vader. Like, usually you say, like, Vader or Bam Bam Bigelow. This is a big motherfucker to be doing something like that, guy. Yeah. Like, I'm going to say it. Reminds me a lot of Brock Lesnar. Like, he could be that next guy. Sure. He could be that next big guy. You come and you see, you hear the music hit, and it's Bron Breakker or Rex Steiner if they ever change it.
Right.
So it's like, I think he has the potential to have that kind of presence. And I think NXT 2.0 is just developmental. You're just going to have to get through your head. It's developmental again.
Developmental. Yeah.
It is what it is. And
yeah,
I think that Bron Breakker is just, I think he's already too big for NXT 2.0. I really think so. And to see him go through Ciampa and stuff like that. And I think we saw a lot of things. Like, I think we saw that Raquel Gonzalez is probably done with NXT. She's kind of done her thing. I like Raquel as a wrestler. She's done some cool stuff. Of course, I'll never get tired of seeing Imperium. I think someone in the chat said that Matt Riddle was amazing. I think Riddle has taken his game to another level, and like nobody noticed. Like, he's so good, and he's so good, and nobody noticed. Like, you can say he has like that goofy persona or whatever, but a guy that is a traditional mixed martial artist like Matt Riddle is, like former UFC fighter, to come in and like duck to water wrestling, it's kind of unreal in what he's done. So that's what I took away from NXT 2.0. That Bron Breakker is amazing in all world. So I'll take it.
I'm with you, Aaron. I've been real skeptical about him, dude. I've been like, they're pushing him, they're shoving him down our throat. They're trying to make fetch happen, but I'll be goddamned. He won me over with this match with Ciampa. Sure, he's been winning me over actually for the last few weeks, but this match with Ciampa was the final breakthrough. Essentially, him kicking that X out was him kicking through my skepticism about him and really announcing himself to me. Like, yeah, I agree with Aaron. Everything Aaron just said. I think he's a meteoric rise now. He is one of these guys that will be there at WrestleMania before you know it. Like he was NXT champion before you knew it so quickly. So it just makes all the sense in the world. Say what you want about the Raquel Gonzalez. That ended up being kind of a sloppy match. I mean, we can best on Liv, and I know you got a thing for Mandy, but Mandy's not that much better than Liv, pal. And it's rough to watch. And a 3-person match, her timing was off half the time. Cora Jade certainly was way too green to be in that ring. They were carrying her throughout that entire match. And Raquel looked like, I'm carrying these two people who cannot do what I can do. And by the end, it was a clumsy pin. It was a boring pin. And there was about 2 or 3 minutes where they had some really good moves on each other. And the crowd started chanting, this is awesome. But then at the end, it was such a clumsy ending. There was like, it kind of petered out badly. So to me, Raquel's got to get the hell out of there. Get her up into the main roster already. Let her go up against people like Charlotte, like Becky, like Sasha. Let's see what she's got, because she wrestled a hell of a match despite these two and their terrible timing at times with their moves and their clumsy moves and their awkward moves and their slow getting into the moves, stuff that really drives me nuts. I think Cora Jade has a hell of a future once she gets a little more experience. I think with Mandy, this is the ceiling, pal. This is the ceiling. You may not like it, but that's the ceiling.
No, I'm fine with it because I know what I'm getting. I think that the Mandy Rose character that now in concept is great. I think, of course, the look is great. The toxic attraction thing is great. I think that it works well. In ring, it doesn't.
Yeah,
and I would be foolish to admit that. Like, I think Mandy Rose has improved as a wrestler. I don't know how much. And multi-person matches don't do really anybody any favors. If you're green or if you're inexperienced, they're hard to work and make it look good. You know, if it's not a tag team or it's not a singles match, it's hard to make it work well. So I'll give her a little bit on that. But yeah, Raquel is the class of that match. And
you've been giving her a little bit on that for years, Aaron. For years.
What? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, she's not going to sleep with you, Aaron. I'm going to give you your own advice. I'm going to give you your own advice.
I'm married. I don't think that Mandy Rose is going to sleep with me ever. I think it's fun to prod people with it. That's why I say it a lot. But
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I think that the idea is great. I think that the execution is not.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating part, because she's got all the package. I mean, she's got the looks. She's decent on the mic, not great on the mic. She's good on the mic, decent on the mic. And she has the personality. It's all there. It's just in the ring sometimes there is a slowness to it. There is a kind of, and look, I don't know what that's from. Either that she's not fully 100% as quick as she needs to be to match up to the moves that she wants to pull off. Is there something in her brain that doesn't quite catch it as quickly as you see with Becky and Sasha and Bianca and Charlotte and Bayley? I don't know, but there's something that's missing in that extra half a beat, brother, that makes the difference between greatness and okay or good. And I think she doesn't have it yet. Maybe she'll develop it. As you said, she's still young, still picking stuff up. Maybe there, like we were saying with Liv, maybe there is another level that she will get to at some point. But I mean, they put a belt on her, and it was very weak pin. Let me just fall on top of you. It was boring, and I just was surprised by that overall. So, we'll see. We'll see. I'm just
AZ in the chat says hello from Israel. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Israel.
Anything else on this? Carmelo Hayes, I mean, this is another shooting star, don't you think?
Stud. Absolute stud.
Yep.
Has main event written all over him.
Yep.
I think he'll be great.
Are we done with the Von Wagner experience, or are we? I mean,
he looks like a great colleague. I'm done with it. I was done with him when he first showed up. I said, "No, I'm good. I'm good. Don't force him down my throat. I'm good."
I'm sorry, I can't remember right now. Who's the guy that fought with what's his face? Soft. Who's the tall dude?
Oh, Big Cass. Big Cass.
Yeah, he took the worst of Cass and the worst of Kali, and he put him into one person. That's Von Wagner, for God's sakes. It is tough.
That's harsh.
That's tough. I like Cass too. I liked him for a majority of the run, but there were some tall guy instincts sometimes that really throws the timing off in wrestling matches.
I do see Gigi Dolan of Toxic Attraction getting some love in the chat with her ability, and I agree because she's been wrestling for a long time. Like Priscilla Kelly, she's been wrestling for a long time.
Yeah.
Shout out to Murderanta, who said give her some time in the gym. Upper body could use some work. Nothing wrong for lower body to catch my drift. I do catch your drift.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
As I said, I'm on record. I texted Aaron about Gigi. I texted Aaron and said, that's the talent in the three of them.
Yeah.
She is the wrestler. The other three do not have the time. The other two don't have the timing that Gigi has. She is great at it. So
I think that I know, I'm sorry, I keep cutting off, but I think that if Gigi wanted to be, and I don't know if she does, but I think if WWE wanted to present her in this way, she could be Paige. She could be another Paige. She's got the look.
Interesting.
She's got like that kind of goth, like kind of look, like you're not really sure what she's gonna do. Kind of like could she snap and beat the living hell out of you? So I could see her in that position as a Paige type wrestler.
Okay,
it's not a bad position to be in.
Fair enough. Xavier Black Wiley in here. Good to see you, Xavier. He says, before you get worked up, Aaron, don't trash my girl, Jade Cargill. Yes, she's green in her matches on AEW Dark. Yes, she's green. Her matches on AEW Dark were too short. I think she more to give. AEW doesn't development women well. And let us black fans enjoy for now Rosa and Ruby NXT. So I don't know that middle part, what he was trying to say there, but basically saying that AEW doesn't develop women well, apparently, and wants to let black fans enjoy Jade Cargill. Well, I got some strong words on Cargill as well, but what do you respond to there?
We're going to talk about it next.
Okay, we are.
We'll
put a pin on that, Xavier. Thank you, brother. Orlando Rego is here. He says, hello, all. Give us Braun versus Walter, since Walter will be on NXT 2.0 full-time now. Other than that, maybe Carmelo or Grayson. Oh, maybe Mother of God. Walter versus Bron Breakker. I still think that's a Walter victory. I don't think they want to hand him to Walter just yet.
I don't want to see Walter in NXT 2.0. Like we're past that. We're past that. He's main roster ready. Put him on the main roster.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a main event, but I like you said, I don't think that. I don't need that. I don't need that.
Yeah.
And Carmelo and Grayson, I'll take that.
That sounds good. Yeah, absolutely. I don't disagree with you there. But the Walter situation, I mean, the only way you bring him in NXT 2.0, I don't know, we had that. So he wrestled technically on NXT 2.0, is if he's making fun of NXT 2.0. That's the only way you have him be a part of NXT 2.0, because it's already getting skewered by a number of people on social media and whatever. So to have him come in and absolutely make fun of the pastels and the bright colors and the spray painted fashion stuff and everything that's going on with the look and the logo, I think that's how you bring Walter and make him an awesome heel. And if you can program that right and book it right, it can shoot your brand into the stratosphere without having to change the look of it at all. So because you got Bron Breakker to defend your brand, that would be awesome, because he's just black trunks. That's all Walter is, son. So he doesn't need all that extra stuff. It could really work. Let's see if we got any more Streamlabs or super chats. No, keep sending them in, folks, as we go along here in the back last 30 minutes of the show. Where are we off to next here, Aaron?
We're flying over to AEW Dynamite, the TBS debut of AEW Dynamite, and quite a great debut it was there. I'm going to go through the matches, and I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about here. We had the Hangman Adam Page defeating Bryan Danielson clean to retain his AEW World Championship World Title rematch there. Jade Cargill, as we've talked about many times on the show, she's on the thumbnail, so you know we're going to talk about her. She defeated Ruby Soho to win the TBS Championship, the inaugural TBS champion. Malachi Black defeated Brian Pillman Jr., and the Jurassic Express, which is Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, defeated the Lucha Brothers to win the AEW Tag Team Championships, along with Ray Phoenix of the Lucha Bros suffering a pretty gross injury. So let's, I guess we just start at the top. So we got Hangman, we've got Bryan Danielson. Guess what, guys? Banger alert. It was great.
Yeah.
And the fact that these two bled like crazy really was great. And it worked. It worked in the spots that it needed to work. I didn't think it was gratuitous. I think Bryan Danielson, somebody said, and I don't remember who, I really should give people credit when I read this stuff.
Yeah.
That Bryan Danielson in the ring is like poetry. And though I don't read poetry, I guess what they mean is like he makes it look so easy and seamless and it all just fits together. Like everything this fucking guy does looks great.
Yeah.
Looks incredible. His transitions are great. His taunt is great. Like it just the gait that he walks, everything that Bryan Danielson is doing right now is top notch.
Yeah.
And on the same token, Adam Page, a guy that is not like a seasoned veteran, though he is, he's been in the business for a bit, so he knows what he's doing. He gets the best out of him.
Yeah.
Adam Page is your AEW World Champion. You need him to be at the top of his game. And once again, another banger, another great match. And I think that Adam Page is in the stratosphere right now. I think he's tremendous. And Bryan Danielson as well. It helped both men, which is exactly what you want it to do. And I thought it was bravo. Well done.
Yeah. This match, we just had our best of 2021 show last week, which I referenced earlier. Aaron, this is already on my list of best of 2022. And
I think that's fair. I think that's
right.
Fair.
And I think it's going to be hard to top it. This match was incredible. Look, the only way Hangman Page reaches the Kenny Omega status is matches like this, brother.
Yep.
And certainly Bryan Danielson coming in and absolutely putting him over. I mean, Bryan deserves, as much as we love this guy, we need to find a new way to open the door to another level of love for those of us who love and worship professional wrestling for decades. Guys like this are rare. Guys like this who come along and give it their all to put people over. It's so rare to see that a guy can still turn a match like he could still be a champion somewhere. He could absolutely still be the WWE champion if he can deliver a match like this against a guy in his prime like Hangman Page. That tells you Danielson still has the goods, but he also understands that he's at that stage now where it's his job to put guys over. He had his run and he enjoyed it. His ego isn't here for him to put a belt on or whatever. He is here to help people get over for the business because he loves the business. He did it in the tail end of his WWE run and he's doing it here now. And I tell you this right now, I never wanted to kind of say this out of my mouth. Didn't think I'd ever say this out of my mouth, but Bryan Danielson has been the best signing AEW has done of all their free agents, and I'm including CM Punk. As incredible as Punk has been on the mic, his matches have not wowed me like Danielson's matches have. And I think that's the difference here. And Danielson's good on the mic. He's not going to deliver you a crazy promo, but he's damn good on the mic, okay? And so the fact that he's the one helping these guys get over, he's the one giving everything he's got through blood, sweat, and tears, that deserves an extra level of appreciation from the pro wrestling fans and the community itself. And this match was incredible. And shout out to Hangman Adam Page for bringing his best to match what Danielson was doing as well. This incredible match, dude.
I think here's an analogy I'm going to go with. I think that Bryan Danielson is Captain America and CM Punk is Iron Man. Like,
that's
like
great.
both good at what they do.
Yeah.
But Captain America is the dude in the trenches, throwing the shield. I can do this all day, punch you in the face. And Iron Man's kind of like got the finesse and will talk you out of whatever you're doing. So I think in that respect, they do both. I will agree with you in terms of wrestling aspect. Bryan Danielson has been the better signing. However, in terms of box office, I think CM Punk has been the better of the two. And it's different. And it's
no argument for me on that. Yeah.
Sure. And it's a different thing. But just the way that they have brought in Danielson, like you thought that he was going to be this guy, like the babyface, the good guy that we've always seen him as against Kenny Omega. Then he changes it and he's like, nah, I'm just a really good wrestler. I'm just going to beat everybody up. And it's like, well, this is great. This is great. So I think it works. I saw someone in the chat say they didn't like heel Danielson. I think it's great, but yeah. So I mean, to me, there's not really much more to say on that front. I think it was just a great match. I would really like to get to the TBS championship.
All right, we'll get to that. But yeah, not much to say. Incredible match. Shout out to Paige. Maybe we've got one more in this trilogy that's going to be even more insane, Aaron. And I'll probably still end up with Paige winning the title. As much as people want Danielson to have the title, they're not going to put it on him. Their AEW guy is Paige, and he's going to keep that belt for a while. They've got to establish him. They can't establish him if he's dropping the belt, picking up the belt, dropping the belt, picking it up. It's not going to work. He's got to be the champion for a bit, and they got to keep lining up these guys. Eventually, Punk's going to have to fight him and take an L as well. And Punk was incredible in his stuff with MJF. That was awesome. And the WWE shot, holy mackerel. Although, Aaron, are we getting to the end of the WWE shots? Are we getting to where there's no need to take these shots anymore?
No, it's always going to happen. It's going to happen throughout this. It's because it's such a big part of his life.
Yeah.
How can you not mention it? If you want to get personal, like how are you not going to mention it?
Yeah. So. He told MJF, if you think the grass is so greener on the other side, be my guest. Go ahead, leave main event night 4 of a buy one, get one free extravaganza, and then get released faster than you last in the sack. Wow, dude. So great stuff from them. All right.
Low hanging fruit, but okay.
Literally. All right, let's go to where you want to go, brother. Where are we going?
All right, so we're going to talk about the TBS Championship. Xavier, I'm here to tell you that I love Jade Cargill. And I'll tell you why. And I'm not surprised that she won this champ. A lot of people were surprised that she beat Ruby Soho. I'm going to piss a lot of people off, John. I think Ruby Soho sucks, and I think she's not good. I think she's not good in the ring. I think.
Are you insane?
I just don't think she's good. I think that everything she does looks sloppy. I think that her timing is off.
What?
And does that have something to do with Jade in this match? Probably, because Jade's as green as a pepper tree. I get it. I don't like her. I don't think she's good. I just don't. Like, I don't get it, bro. Like, I just don't. Like,
fucking insane. You're insane.
If you look at this TBS championship match, right?
Yeah.
How the fuck would anyone else other than Jade Cargill win this match? On paper. Look at these two standing side by side.
Yeah, who cares about...
Listen, dude. Wrestling is about marketing. It's a business.
True.
Jade Cargill is on all these things for Rampage and Dynamite. She's on all the graphics. She's on the trailer. She's on all this stuff. Ruby Soho isn't.
Yeah.
Ruby Soho, no disrespect. I'm sure she's in great shape. She don't look like Jade Cargill. Not many people do.
Right.
And Jade Cargill looks like she was chiseled from granite.
Yes.
She looks unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Will her wrestling come? Yes. I think it eventually will. Do I think she's great? No. I think she's green. I think that you'd be stupid to acknowledge it if she wasn't. Mm-hmm. But I think it was the right call to make her the champion. Her finish, the jaded from the top or the middle rope, wasn't great, but it wasn't the worst thing. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
She's got a long way to go, but she's also. I just think she's great. I really think she can be great. She's that diamond in the rough, man.
When you're done kissing the ass of Black Wrestling Twitter, so you can stay in there. I got some things to say. Yeah,
come on.
Yeah,
I'm here to tell you. We saw on NXT, right? We saw Bron Breakker on NXT. Like, that's your big breakout rookie person there. It's different, though. I think Jade is in the same vein, but different because Jade's not nearly as polished or as good as Bron Breakker is right now. Mm-hmm. I think it was just a change of the guard moment. Like, okay, NXT has their big rookie. It's Bron Breakker. AEW has one of their big rookies. It's Jade Cargill. Just got to deal with it because she's here to stay. She's kicking ass.
So I got a few thoughts on this. And if I piss off Black Wrestling Twitter, so be it. I'm Latino. Fuck it. We go toe to toe. I got no problem. I got no shame. No shame in my game. That match was terrible. She was terrible in that match. No offense. Didn't sell a damn thing. Emotionally looked like she was like doing my taxes. And the third thing is Ruby was carrying her throughout that match. And yes, she's green. And if she's green, then she's got to wait. That's the game. I wonder if this is a result of Tony Khan getting called out.
No,
I wonder if they changed I don't know.
No, this was in the bag. This was in the bag the second that tournament started.
I don't know. Because why does Ruby come if you're never going to put a belt on Ruby? Why the fuck would I come? It makes no sense. Ruby's in her prime. Ruby's a damn good wrestler.
Because you're insane. Here and then you see her and you're like, okay, maybe not.
I didn't interrupt your nonsense. I'm going to tell you this right now. Ruby Soho is an incredible wrestler, and she gets hard done by these companies, and it drives me nuts. Yes, did I give her shit for that reaction that she didn't get the pin? Yeah, I hate that. I wish she'd stop doing that. But she's one of the sweetest people you've ever seen in an interview. And when she's delivering good matches against wrestlers who can match her level, it is incredible to watch. I look forward to her versus Thunder Rosa. I look forward to her versus Britt Baker again. That was a good match between those two. So the Cargill situation here, are there enough good women to carry her until she figures it out? She feels to me, I mean, if by your logic, Chris Masters should have been a 10-year champion at the WWE, the top, just because they have a great body. It's got nothing to do with it. Do you have the skill?
I didn't say that.
You said she's chiseled out of granite as some kind of... Yes, so there are almost all the wrestlers are chiseled out of granite nowadays, man. So it's not that big of a deal. It's can you do it in the ring? And to me, I don't see it happening from Jade Cargill in the ring. Look, I don't want to go after a black female wrestler. I championed Sasha for years. I championed many black female wrestlers for years, but you got to show it to me in the ring. And I got to be honest, I don't see it from Cargill in the ring. I think this was the wrong decision. Have her lose to Ruby. Ruby is the champion. Have her lose in some controversial way so that builds up the next rematch. It builds up the fans getting upset, the fans wanting Jade to do it, the Jade doing the promos where she's working out, getting better, studying, learning, all these kinds of things. And then boom, she's back in there with Ruby Soho. To me, it feels like they just gave her the title and they're like, okay, let's see what happens. And I just think it's a bad mistake overall to do that. And because Ruby she's not Danielson or Punk at the tail end of their careers. She is full on smack dab in the prime of her career. She should be getting matches, better matches, and she should be getting titles. This is ridiculous. But Jade Cargill, let's see what you can do with this. Now you got the opportunity. Let's see what kind of matches, because there aren't a lot of good women on that roster. And Britt Baker is pretty much fighting most of them. So what do they got on the other side for you to fight? I want to see.
I mean, I feel like your comment about Jade Cargill being a body is too far. I feel
you brought it up. I'm using your words. I'm not saying she's just a body. She's got talent. I'm just saying.
I mentioned a feature that she has.
Okay. All right. You brought it up. I
mentioned a feature that she has. She's chiseled out of granite. She looks incredible in that ring, dude.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter if you can't deliver a good match.
It's okay. Wrestling's about marketing. You could market Jade Cargill and
you can't market shitty matches. You can't market shitty.
Brother, Hulk Hogan marketed shitty matches for 20 years, brother.
How dare you?
Don't even. But like seriously, you cannot tell me you don't. And if Chris Masters was in his prime today, Chris Masters would be a world champion. But anyway, you cannot tell me you look at Jade Cargill and you don't see like, oh my God.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
We got to do something with this. Like to me though, like she reminds me of China, like in the sense that like, hold on, let me get there. Like
happening.
All right, China was a trained wrestler. China at least could wrestle a little bit. I would say she was great, but China had a presence. And I think that Jade Cargill has that kind of presence. Like you look at her and go, oh shit. Like, she's going to beat the hell out of somebody. And that's what I feel like when I see her. I just see like this large woman that doesn't look like anybody else on the roster that you're like, oh my God, kind of like a Brock Lesnar in a way. Like you look at Brock Lesnar, you're like, well, Brock Lesnar doesn't really look like anybody with a big tattoo on his chest. He looks like a giant mountain man. Like Jade Cargill just looks different. She's different, bro. Built different.
Yeah, but look at Bianca Belair. Do you think Jade Cargill is even in the conversation in comparison to Bianca Belair? Bianca Belair has an incredible physique and delivers phenomenal matches.
Agreed.
And I'm saying Cargill, until she gets to the phenomenal matches place, I'm not going to give her that much credit. She can cut all the promos, that bitch promos, all she wants. And that was a great promo, by the way. Shout out to Jade Cargill. That was an incredible promo. That's how you get over. But until she delivers the same thing in the ring, it doesn't matter to me if you cut great promos. I got to see it in the ring.
Sure.
I went after Mandy, I went after Liv. I'm consistent on this issue. If you're not good in the ring, I'm not going to give you your props. I'm not. And I'm more than willing to admit when I'm wrong or when someone gets better, like I did with Carmella. I'm on record. AJ Lee, same thing. I hated AJ Lee when she first started. I thought she was not good at all. And then came around and was one of her biggest fans. So I am on record. I am consistent.
Well, my computer is like dying because of this conversation. I got to find my charger real quick. But like,
Chris Taylor nails it. Jade is AEW's Goldberg. There it is.
Goldberg was a huge megastar. So what the fuck? What's your point?
You hate Goldberg.
I do hate Goldberg. What's your point? Be honest with me. Like, if we didn't know what we know about Bianca now, we know that Bianca's great and probably one of the, if not the best, one of the best women wrestlers right now. Definitely
Absolutely.
top three.
Yes.
You look at them on paper. Who are you going with? Who are you gonna sign?
What do you mean?
You get the headshot, you get the photo. Brother? Who are you gonna sign?
But that isn't how this works.
You didn't answer the question, so you're going with Jade Cargill.
No, because you're framing the question with parameters that make no goddamn sense.
Thank you and good night. Good night. Let the record show that John Rocha, on paper, prefers Jade Cargill over Bianca Belair.
That's not true. That's not true. And I might argue that even looking at them on paper, I might take Bianca Belair because she looks more athletic in terms of her flexibility and her ability to do things. Sure. That's the thing with Jade. I think that's got to get. Listen, I'm not criticizing Jade because I don't want her to be a success. It's quite the opposite. This is constructive criticism. I want her to get better in the ring. You
see potential in her.
Yeah, absolutely. $1 million potential, to be honest with you. So do the work in the ring to match with the great stuff you're already doing on the mic. Let's get to that level. I'm excited.
So why are we even arguing then?
Because I don't want Ruby Soho sacrificed for this ascension. Well, hold on. She deserves to have a belt around her waist. She tried to carry her throughout that whole fucking match. And so it's frustrating as hell. And there's a reason they got rid of Thunder Rosa from this competition, by the way. And so this is a situation here where I'm like, okay, let's get to this moment here. So now what? Now who does Jade Cargill fight? Is it going to be Thunder Rosa? Because Thunder Rosa is going to expose her. Okay. And that's the thing you got to get to. You're going to watch Thunder Rosa carrying her through that match. You know, Jade can do the things, but she can't do the things 100% well, not yet. And I think it's dangerous to put a belt on someone like that because Aaron, this could set her up to be even more criticized, to be even more skewered by the wrestling fans if she can't deliver good matches because you've put the belt on her, you're criticizing the AEW, and you're criticizing her because you shot her to the top too quickly. That's a danger. Whereas Bron Breakker looks ready for the title. She doesn't, and that's a danger sometimes with the wrestling community. You know that.
She's going to be fine. I'm here to tell you. Let's put a pin in this conversation. Revisit it in 6 months and see where Jade Cargill's at.
I hope she's at the top. I hope she's great. I hope she's figured stuff out and she's even better. And the green stuff has worn off and she's embraced it and figured it out. You know, sometimes, Aaron, it just takes that switch to go on, and all of a sudden it's like fucking Neo, and you understand how to do this business and how to deliver great matches. And certainly all the potential is there for Jade Cargill to do so, brother.
Hopefully it's not the Matrix Resurrections Neo. Fuck that. Go ahead and stretch because I have to find my charger real quick. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got some things that have come through here. Who's it? Orlando Rego sent in something here. He says Jade has been penciled in to win since the tournament announced, but I have a feeling Brandy versus Jade is happening because they haven't had a match. Orlando, that would be fantastic. Brandy Rhodes, I think, is one of those women that could absolutely deliver a banger of a match with Jade Cargill and teach her some things in the ring. So shout out to that. That'd be fantastic. Two black women going at it for a belt would be incredible as well, especially someone like Brandy, who is, of course, married to one of the creators of AEW. So that would be fantastic. I don't disagree with you there. Oh, Frank Janish is in here. What's up, Frank? How you doing, brother, man? Good to see you hanging out with us here on Strong Style. Hope you're doing well, brother. Let's see here. John Alexander says, I like Jade, but she is nowhere near ready. Thank you. Her timing is off. Her selling is off. Her promos are not there. But that being said, of course, she won. Look at her. If they want her to look good, she needs to be booked like Goldberg. 5-minute squash matches on. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Maybe that's the approach you take with Jade Cargill to kind of save her, is that you have her deliver these kind of squash matches that are 5 or 6 moves of devastation, look like she's in trouble a little bit near the middle of those 5 minutes, and then boom, absolutely demolishing anyone she faces. I'm not talking Thunder Rosa either. She don't need to be squashing Thunder Rosa, but these other female maybe Statlander, maybe these other wrestlers, that's certainly possible to see that. I mean, imagine Statlander with Cargill. Do you think you're going to get a good 10-minute match, 15-minute match? I don't know, but we shall see. I like the idea, though. I like what you're saying here, John. It's a great point. Orlando also sent in another Streamlab back earlier here. He said CM Punk's shot to WWE was a good burn, but I like a good BOGO deal too. LOL. Yeah, that was great. Good stuff there, Orlando. You've been fantastic today, brother. Keep sending your stuff in. And John Alexander also says, I'm Team Aaron as far as Soho, and I'll do you one better. Thunder Rosa hasn't looked great either. I bet Sasha Banks could carry Jay to a good match. Oh, yeah. Sasha Banks can carry Aaron Turner to a good match, ladies and gentlemen. Sasha Banks has delivered the goods every single time. Her and Bryan Danielson, you're never going to get a bad match out of either of those two people. And certainly Sasha could do that with Jade Cargill with her eyes closed for sure. I don't know what Aaron's doing. He's building some kind of thing in his office. So we shall see when he's back on camera. All right. Xavier Black Wiley back in here with another super chat. Where are we here? Down at the bottom. It says, headshots, how they look on paper. Come on, man. Thanks for liking Jade, Aaron. But going forward, you build up as you build the women's division. Nyla Rose, Tay Conte. Absolutely. Absolutely. We shall see, man. Xavier, I'm with you, brother. I want them to build up this women's division so it is something incredible for us to watch and rivals anything the WWE is doing on their side of the fence. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. I enjoy, you can hear him in the background for sure. So yeah, we shall see. But yeah, headshots, how they look on paper, that's, who cares? It's more than that. Oh, there he is.
Who's lying in this chat? Who's lying? Who said something?
They all said, well, there was some good points here. There were some people saying that, like John Alexander saying that he thinks Cargill should be treated like Goldberg, like she comes in 5-minute squash matches and out. Also, he agrees with you about Soho, and he says that Thunder Rosa hasn't looked great either in AEW, and he thinks that Sasha would carry her to a great match if Sasha was in there against Jade Cargill. Which I don't.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It depends. Like, it's always going to depend on that. Like, I see Xavier's comment about headshots and how they look on paper. That's part of it, dude. I'm sorry. That's part of the business. And of course, you should build the division. You should build Nyla Rose. You should build on Tay Conti. You should build on Anna Jay. And you should build on you should definitely build off of that match. A lot of buzz about that tag match. So I think you should definitely ride with Anna Jay right now. I think she should be the next person to get Britt Baker, to be honest with you. But
fair. Anna Jay was fantastic. Yeah.
I think when people say the AEW women's division is like, oh, you need to really work on it. It's like, yes, but like, if you look at it, you've got Britt, you've got Ruby Soho if you want, you got Anna Jay, Tay Conti, Rosa. You've got good people in there that can make this work. I think that Jamie Hayter can be good too. You just need a little work, but you just keep wanting to go to the well with these people like Riho and like Emi Sakura. And I know that Riho has put on good matches in the past, but I don't believe Riho. You put Riho in a match with Jade Cargill. Like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even close, dude. Like,
what about the bunny?
No.
Yeah, right.
And I'll tell you why. I love Allie. I loved Allie in Impact. I thought she was great. I thought she was a great character.
Yeah.
I think she's been awful in AEW.
Well, look, let's take a look at this. Aaron, let's take a look at this, because I think you bring up an interesting point. I know we got to wrap up the show here, but do you think there's something wrong on the women's side of things on AEW? And I don't mean the wrestlers they brought in. I mean the fact that they're not developing or not showcasing what they were able to do that got them noticed by wrestling fans and got them noticed by AEW, that somewhere on the development side of things, or on the ladies side of things, they're not stepping up to the plate. Because if what John Alexander is saying is he thinks Thunder Rosa hasn't looked good, you don't like Ruby Soho, criticisms of Cargo, criticisms of a lot of these wrestlers, Statlander, some criticism as well. Like, do you think, Bunny, there is an issue here where the people in charge of developing these ladies aren't doing a good enough job developing these ladies? And I counter that by saying in NXT, quite a number of trainers, Badass Billy Gunn, I think Bill DeMott, Triple H, a number of people got these ladies in the right position to look fantastic for their runs in NXT. Do you think they're fumbling the ball here and doing a disservice to the female wrestlers in AEW?
In terms of like what they've already brought to the table, like I think that the Bunny gets plenty of time. She gets plenty of TV time. She was on TV a lot when she was the manager of the Butcher and the Blade.
Yeah,
I think that she had a moment, and I think I read somewhere that she was having some mental health issues, which is why she wasn't in the ring.
That's a shame.
So I don't know if it's like ring rust or something like that for her, but I just haven't liked anything that she's done. So she's come to AEW. I think she looks sloppy and just not good. And Penelope Ford is somebody I had a lot of faith in after her match with Hikaru Shida. Like I was like, wow, Penelope Ford could really do stuff. And then she hasn't really had a chance, like Penelope Ford hasn't, in my opinion, to do that.
Yeah.
The street fight or whatever match that was, it is what it is. That's just how it goes. But yeah, I mean, NXT had Sarah Del Rey. They had Serena Deeb, who's now in AEW, oddly enough.
Right.
So it's just like they had these great women to teach them. You can't tell me that Serena Deeb is not helping teach these ladies. Of course she is. But they have good people. Like they have Shida. I think Shida can be really good. It's a good find for them.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just going to take time. Like look at there's also a bunch of free agents out there. It's going to take time. Like I think people are just frustrated because the NXT women's division was so good for so long.
Yeah.
That they're like, why can't you just put all these women together? I don't understand.
Yeah. Chris Taylor makes a great point. If I'm AEW, I call Finley to help, right? I mean, he was essential to Becky Lynch's rise. Yeah,
I don't think Finley would take your call, but yeah, go ahead. I think he's just like a loyal Vince guy. I don't think he would do something like
that. Busy. Good woman.
I think you call Paige. I think I'd call Paige. But anyway.
That's not a bad idea.
Just me.
Brother. That's a great suggestion. Good women AEW, Rosa, Britt, Soho, Statlander, Tay Conti, Anna Jay, and don't forget Layla Hirsch.
If Layla Hirsch walked in here, I wouldn't know. I mean, I know what she looks like, but like, she might as well be a ghost. Like, I don't even see her anymore.
Yeah.
But I agree with the rest of them. I think Rosa, Britt, Soho, except for Soho, Statlander, Ty Conti, Anna Jay. By the way, I think Ruby Soho's better than the previous ones you missed. I think she's better than Statlander, Conti, Anna Jay, and Layla Hirsch. She's better than all of them. I just don't like her.
So she doesn't suck in the ring. You just don't like. You have a personal thing against her. That's different.
Not personal. I just don't. I don't think she's great. Like I don't ever see Ruby Soho put on a 5-star match. Like you know what I mean. Like I don't see it. Yes, Ember Moon as well. John Alexander mentions Ember Moon. Ember Moon could be on the way. That'd be a huge boost.
I agree. 1,000% agree with that.
Oh my God. I cannot believe. I mean, of all the people WWE let go, I mean, there's a lot I can't believe, but that's one for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
We shall see. All right. Anything else we need to get into? There are no more Streamlabs and Super Chats so far. So any other subject that we didn't cover we should touch on before we wrap up here, brother man?
Well, John Alexander says that Layla Hirsch is on the YouTube shows. Explains why I haven't seen her. So
fair.
Thanks
for the heads up.
One interesting note about the Danielson and Page match that we didn't really bring up, which is kind of irrelevant, but I want to bring it up anyway. They had judges. Like it went to a draw again. They were going to have judges, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know who the judges were? Did you notice who the judges were?
Yeah, it was Mark Henry, The Big Show.
Yeah.
And who's
Jerry
the third?
Lynn. Jerry Lynn.
Jerry Lynn, right. Jerry Lynn.
You had two of the three in Mark Henry and The Big Show that wouldn't know a 5-star match if it bit him on the ass. And you had Jerry Lynn who put out 5-star bangers. So I was like, why in the fuck are these three of all the people? Like maybe this Jerry Lynn should be the judge. Like it's so stupid.
That was weird. What was that all about? Like,
God,
don't make your organization look like every stage of the organization is developmental. That makes no sense to me to have judges there on the sideline. That makes it seem like it's a developmental situation. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Judges? That's what? What is this?
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't really talk about the tag title change.
Oh, yeah, with the Lucha Bros. What do you think about that? I wasn't really surprised because,
Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, I'm going to say it again, for
Yeah.
marketing purposes, they sell a lot of merch because Luchasaurus is very toyetic for children and different things. They like that guy.
Mhm.
And I think that Jungle Boy is a baby face you could build around. Is he going to be a
totally.
future franchise player? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think that it was time. I think you could really put it behind these two. These two guys have done enough to warrant a victory. And the Lucha Bros could win at any time. It doesn't diminish them at all. I felt bad for Phoenix because he got that arm injury, which looked like a really bad break, but apparently it was just a dislocation. I don't know how that happened, but good luck. It's not surprising, like I said, but I think it was the right time. You're on TBS, you're on a new network, you want to showcase this talent. Hey, look, these guys won the tag titles. They must be a big deal if you're a casual viewer. So it makes Jurassic Express look great for their mediocre booking. Like they put on great matches with the Young Bucks and stuff like that all year long. So it's kind of like their reward for doing that.
I hate their name, dude. Maybe it's just, I just
Jurassic Express.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I think that thing's kind of cool.
Jurassic is old and Express is fast.
It's a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, that's I just don't get it, man. It makes no sense to me. Murderanta says, any comment on Freddie Prinze Jr. dropping that he was told Fox wanted by WWE before buying SmackDown rights, but WWE asked for too much?
Didn't Fox just sell their entire movie department to Disney? What does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, what's too much? Like, of course it's going to be too much. It's WWE. It doesn't surprise me that they wanted to sell it or Fox wanted to buy it. Just because Fox wanted to buy it doesn't mean WWE wanted to sell it. You know what I mean?
Maybe they asked too much on purpose.
Yeah, maybe they gave him a stupid number. Like, oh, it'll be $8 billion. Like, oh, that's insane. Of course it is. I don't want to sell you, jackass. So yeah, I don't know if that's that just might be that. Freddie Prinze Jr. I mean, I know he was a writer and stuff, but I don't know how in the loop.
He's got the podcast Wrestling with Freddie. It's out there. I don't know. I know
he should be on the show and tell me off.
Well, maybe that'll happen because one of our big announcements. I guess we should get to it, Aaron. If we've wrapped up all the business here for the show today. Starting next week, we have a third person joining us as an official third member of Strong Style here.
The third man.
He's the third man. He reached out to us. We talked to him. He's a guy I've known for quite some time.
William Regal.
That's right. William Regal's joining us, but he has to keep the hand behind his back the whole time as he talks. He is a live comedy producer for the last 10 years. He's a current comedy tour booker at Live Nation, and he's had a pro wrestling pop culture podcast for the last 5 years. And it is one of the gentlemen that both Aaron and I know, and we approve this transfer, so to speak. It is Christopher Burns. Chris Burns will be joining us as our official third man here on Strong Style starting next week. We might be moving to a new time. We're definitely going to, in the next few weeks, change the look of Strong Style completely. I'm working with a graphic designer who's changed the look of every show on the Outlaw Nation, and we're going to do some new and interesting things for sure. Chris Burns is already promising us some access to some interesting guests to have on the show. One of the goals of 2022 has been to take every show on this channel to the next level as much as possible, and hopefully Chris Burns coming onto the show helps us do that. He's an intelligent dude. He's a funny dude, and he knows his pro wrestling. I've done stuff with him in the past with other pro wrestlers. He got me access to RVD for 2 hours on my channel way back when, if you remember WrestleMania, what we did with him. So going to be a great addition to our crew here on Strong Style, making Strong Style even stronger. What do you think there, Aaron, about this news?
Man, it's been a long time actually since we did a show with Chris, or he was on our show when we had Collider Body Slam. So
that's right.
If you remember way back in those days of doing that, God damn, we've been doing this for a long time. Yeah. But yeah, Chris is somebody that's really funny. Definitely knows his stuff. I wouldn't be comfortable with bringing somebody that didn't know their stuff like Ruby Soho. So I'm excited. I'm playing. I know she's great in some ways, but Chris is a guy that he just understands, he just gets it. I love that. And I'm glad that he's coming aboard. I'm glad that he wanted to be a part of it. When we all talked about doing this. So that's what's exciting to me, that somebody wants to be a part of it instead of just I guess. I guess that'd be fun. So yeah, and of course, yeah, he said, he has Raven on his show a lot.
Yeah,
like back in the day, he's good friends with Raven.
Yeah,
that's somebody I'd like to talk to, Mr. Scott Levy. John Alexander says as long as he's up on Black Twitter like Aaron, well, he is black, so I think he's in the loop.
Somebody asked for a social media handle. It's at Chris_please. He is known as the Darkitect. He was part of the, I think it was part of the Four Horsemen podcast that they did.
The Store Horsemen, yes.
The Store Horsemen, right, out of the Comedy Store. And also now he's on the Wrestle F Pod, Wrestle Fetish Pod. He does. So a guy who knows a lot about wrestling, and I think he's going to be a great addition to our crew for sure. And we'll see where we take it to the next level and what happens bringing him onto the show for sure. And I'm looking forward to the guests that he says he can get us. So it's going to be a lot of fun for sure. So yeah, we shall see.
Arturo says room for a fourth member. I have an announcement as well. We got Mickie James.
Hey,
we got Mickie James. We backed up the Brinks truck and we got Mickie James to show up.
Mickie James and her garbage bag full of her stuff will be showing up on the show for sure.
Well, oh my God, maybe we shouldn't bury wrestlers on the show anymore because they may have to come on and talk to us.
We got to be honest. The show is honest. Outlaw Nation is honest.
Man, could you imagine if we got Ruby Soho on?
I can't imagine that. And I'm going to play your comments for her.
She's like, I suck. Like, yeah.
If we get Bret Hart on the show, you can certainly play my comments about Bret Hart, and we'll go from there for sure. I got no problem with that.
The fucking guy on Twitter, man, still made me mad.
I know.
Some random nobody on Twitter got me upset about Bret Hart with his stupid ass comment.
He did. People ask about Jay Wash. Jay's super
he's
fucking
busy. He's real busy.
Jay and Winston are crazy busy. Why do you think Game Time hasn't come on consistently on my channel? Because those guys are super busy doing a lot of shit. So,
Jay just had a comedy special drop. The guy's got shit going on.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So, Gramash, Jay, if you hear this, you were amazing. You can reach out to him on social media, Gramash, and he'll be great. All right, there you go. That's our episode here for Strong Style. Thank you all so much for joining us here. And please remember to hit a like on this video. If you haven't hit a like yet, for those of you who are on social media, share it on social media. This video, let your pro wrestling friends and fans know that we do this show to come aboard, and maybe they'll join the Strong Style Nation for sure. Aaron, thanks again. Another fun show. Where can they find you and everything got going on, my man?
Find me on Twitter at Only Aaron Turner, as I am currently gauging the amazing rivalry, if you're not in the loop on Twitter, between Elmo and our pet Rock. Like, if you are not following this, I don't know what is wrong with you, but it is some of the greatest Twitter stuff I've ever seen. It is the greatest rivalry since Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. It is amazing stuff. And yes, I'm talking about Elmo from Sesame Street and a pet Rock. Check it out. Are you in the loop on that? Are you in the loop on that?
Yeah, even the late great Dusty Rhodes weighed in on this one. Hot times is when Elmo has been a part of Sesame Street for 40 years. 40 years, and they give him a single cookie, kick him in the butt, and they say, "Hey, a rock took your cookie, Daddy." That's hot times.
That's fucking killed me. Like, I laughed at that for a solid 15 minutes. And what's even funnier about that is Dusty Rhodes' daughter, Margaret, retweeted it and said, "We've got to this point." Like, it's just, I don't know who did that. Incredible stuff.
Give it credit to at local Soundwave. At local Soundwave.
Amazing.
1,640 tweets, 132 quote tweets, over 6,500 likes on that, and it's perfect. Still one of the greatest promos ever, and this is the first time I've ever seen it used for something like this and have it work. So shout out to them. The son of a plumber. I miss Dusty. I went back and rewatched that promo like 3 times after you sent me, or after you commented on this, because I saw it on my Twitter feed. So it was great. But yeah, definitely follow Aaron Turner there, and our friend Chris_please, will be joining us next week. Follow him there, get an idea of who he is and his points of views on wrestling for sure. You can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm on Twitch as well, The Outlaw Nation, all one word. The old man's even dropping some reviews on TikTok. I've started to do these 2-minute, 20-second reviews that are exclusively only on Twitter or TikTok for films that I'm not going to do full reviews on, but I want to highlight for you all to maybe take a look at or ignore and don't watch on there. So this is a new thing I'm adding to things I do for the Outlaw Nation for sure. What were we going to say, Aaron?
Can I jump in there for a second as well? Like, I actually started up my own TikTok as well.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to revamp the name, but I did start putting up some wrestling content on there. I'll keep you abreast of what's going on with that. But yeah, I kind of wanted to extend it. Maybe I'll just make it into a strong style TikTok, but I wanted to extend the alley there. So
yeah,
we'll keep you in the loop on that.
Yeah, well, yeah, send me out. That's what. Murder Rock says, Rocha, you're too old for TikTok. Bitch, I'm not too old for shit. I've been doing this thing for centuries.
Whoa!
So suck my left ball, son.
Damn.
I do what I want to do when I want to do it. So kiss it. Another thing is that I've got my podcasts out there, the top 10, the Cinephiles, and the Geek Buddies out there for you to enjoy. For those you don't know, the Geek Buddies, we just did our live review last night of episode 2 of the Book of Boba Fett with our guest Laura Kelly. We had a lot of fun doing that thing live. And then tomorrow on the Cinephiles YouTube channel, we're going live at 2 p.m. PT to look back on the year of 2021 with some great film guests, reviewers, and what have you, and then look forward to what we might be getting in 2022 and tell you what we're doing with the Cinephiles in 2022 as well. So join us for that as well. All right, that's all the plugging I got to do. You guys are the best. Love you madly. Thanks so much for joining us. Aaron and I wish you a fond adieu, and we'll talk to you next time with another brand new live episode here of Strong Style.
I'm gonna get to some plugging.